All right, brief overview before we get into the workout. Make sure that you do a warm-up. So I did a warm-up prior to the exercises you're going to see. I did a 1 mile run. That's something that we typically do at the end, but today I put it in reverse. It's going to be a light session. It's not going to be anything crazy. Well, that's relative. But for me, it was more so of a light session, working on some power, working on plyos, and also a lift. So enjoy the workout. Thanks for watching. All right, so jumping straight into the workout. I had a long day yesterday. I was driving for over 10 hours. And today I want to just get in the gym, focus on a light session, if you will. We're starting out with some hip flexion with the band. I like to do iso holds, and then I would also go into more of a runner's style with the hip flexor raises. These are very, very good to pay attention to, just to strengthen the hip flexors, whether you are an athlete or not. But this training session is more athletically based. But if you're an individual, definitely program these in your workouts. The next one that we're going to the mini band abduction. And man, these will humble you. I don't care who you are, holding these out to the side for about 10 seconds. And then we're going to go into our 5 repetitions. And we're going 2 sets each. So we won't take a break here, meaning after you finish one side, you go straight to the other. And after you finish that, you go right back. And I'm telling you, a lot of people's glute medius are not as strong. And this is also going to challenge your stability to sit upright or stand upright. Sorry about that. These are extremely helpful, and I like to just get everything prepped for my workout. So next, we're going to go to a posterior hamstring series. So we're going to have 3 different exercises we want to do. So we're starting out with the glute bridge marches, making sure that lower back is not making that C position. And we want a smooth transition as possible. So we don't want to have the hips sinking down as much. I mean, you're going to get some tilt just because the transfer over, but take your time on these. Don't rush through them. We're not looking for speed. We're just looking for control. Next, we're going to go into the single leg hip thrust with the heels elevated. This is going to put a little bit more emphasis on the hamstrings. So here I want you to go in more of a quick fashion, up, down, not as quickly as possible, but keep the same rhythm throughout. And we're going 5 on each side. Next, we're going to walk out. We're going to extend the knees a little bit more. So this is going to add even more load on the hamstring. So if you're someone that's not working your hamstrings on a consistent basis, I would probably skip these, or I would go on the ground to a glute bridge and kind of just start from there. Those would definitely add intensity. Next, we got the snap downs. This is a foundational movement that I like to add in either for any athlete. You can be youth or you can be a professional. So for me, I'm just dropping down as quick as I can, getting that eccentric load on the on the knees and the ankles. And next, we go into the pogo jumps. These are my favorite as well, trying to find that rhythmic nature in the hand motions and the arm connecting together. And the last thing that we're going to jump into before we get into our plyos are the single leg cycle hops. For these, we're not looking for height. We're just looking to be as stationary as possible throughout the jumps. Here we go. First plyometric drill of the day. We're going to go with the close stand split squat jumps. I'm not looking for a super extended or low split squat. I'm looking to be reactive here. So we're going to have the right leg in the front for 3 reps, and we're going to have the left leg in the front for 3 reps. Another thing I want you to pay attention to, as you're powering through to explode up, get that big arm swing in there. Never allow the arms not to move. All right. Next, we're going 2 small hops into the box jump. So going more of a bilateral stance here, working on that timing. We know on that second hop, we want to explode on that third one, getting those arms involved always, and try to find that connection throughout. Lastly, we're going to load up the Achilles on this. So if you're someone that's really not worked athletically in a while, I would definitely just go a normal box jump here, because I'm going reverse into the balls of the feet, and it's going to add a lot of load on the Achilles to explode in that acceleration. All right, the moment you've been waiting for, the lifts. So this is the Anderson squats. I like to do these because they're great with improving rate of force development or coming out of a sticky spot if you wanted to go lower. So we're taking it out that eccentric phase. That means on the way down, where we have to start on the way down in order for us to squat on our way back up. Now we're going to start in the bottom position, if you will, and explode out of that. So we're taking away that stretch shortening cycle. These are really good if you're just looking to generate a lot of speed and push out of the bottom. They're typically one of my favorites to do inside of a program, especially if I'm looking to increase rate of force development. A lot of people like to shame the Anderson squats, and there's tons of variations out there that people do to improve the rate of force development, power output. It's just finding what the athletes need and how can you get them to understand the response you're looking for. Let's get into these power step ups. So for me, I love to keep the barbell on my back because I want to step down and I want to focus on transitioning even onto the box and off of the box. I want that stability. I want to focus on that. I also want to be able to find that stiffness. So as I strike that box, I want my knee and my hip to extend upward. So if you feel like you're not getting a lot of power out of these, make sure that you go lighter. Take the weight off, start with the bar. If the bar feels like you're not getting a lot of power, start with body weight. So that's what we did. We worked our way up to this point. So we have load now, we're not going body weight. And again, you want to look for that stiffness. As soon as you strike, you want the knee, hip, and everything going straight up, no lags. Moving on to the hammies. I had to go more unilateral today. I like to make sure that I'm focusing on each individual side so that I can feel what needs to be worked. Nothing wrong with bilateral at all. I'm just going more unilateral. I'm kind of feeling out my body after this long drive. What I'm looking for is to get a good stretch on that hamstring and explode through. I want that bar to meet my hips the time I squeeze those glutes. So reaching down as far as I can, getting a good stretch on the hamstrings and powering through as if I'm about to do a broad jump or a box jump. You want to have that effect. Lastly, this is a staple for me. I love these. Shout out to my man Mike G. I think he was one of the first people that I saw to do this, and I love it because now we're getting the hamstrings, we're getting the glutes, and we're also getting that hip flexion, and we're working on that movement that we did to start, right, with the mini bands. So here I want you to come through with that leg and then also hold that bar for a second at the top. That's going to turn on that glute med a little bit more, and man, these will humble you as well, just like the mini bands. Take your time on these. Don't rush through them. Really focus on driving that hip up and then keeping that ankle dorsiflex throughout. And you will be thankful that you did these. You may or may not hate me, but this is going to conclude the workout for today. After this, you can feel free to do some accessory work the calves, work the anterior tibs, whatever you see fit. This is it for me for today, and thank you for watching. I appreciate you.